Ooh. Nothing on the glass. Have you seen the makeup tutorial that Lady Gaga posted to the Sephora channel? She uses some products in ways that are new to me. Like for example, a white foundation she uses as her highlighter. And there are other techniques she showed that I am excited to recreate. So let's get right into it. I already moisturized my face and now I'm using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer just because I haven't used it in a long time. Let's get started.
Ready? Everybody feel good? Hi everybody, this is Lady Gaga and I'm so excited for you to get ready with me. We are going to do a full face of Haus Labs today. We're going to get started with our Triclone Skin Tech Concealer in shade 11, Light Neutral. I'm going to start under the eyes and then I'm going to take the tip of the applicator and I'm just going to kind of put it wherever I see redness on the face.
All right, so I'm taking my Haus Labs concealer. You can see that she has a shade that is a lot lighter than her skin tone, so she's definitely going after the brightening effect. This one is pretty much like a close match to my own skin tone. It's not gonna do as much brightening as hers, but that's okay.
And then I go into areas that I want to brighten even more. Done. Now I take...
And now this is a lot of concealer that she's applying, at least for my preference. Yeah, let's get started with this much.
Take our brush for concealer. It's a beautiful, beautiful brush that is shaped like a finger. This concealer has biotech caffeine in it, which depuffs under the eyes. Also,
I really like how she explains what that ingredient does, because we see ingredients all the time featured on the product pages and we don't really know what they do. I wish she would go into more depth though. Like give me more science.
Fermented arnica that's in the concealer is helping reduce my redness while I wear it, which is one of my favorite things about it. So now I'm just gonna take my fingers and lightly press that in. So you see I've just brightened up my whole face. And if you want to, you can just go more natural like that. But today, I want to do a full face of Haus Labs.
Doing a full face.
I'm going to be using now our Triclone Skin Tech Foundation in shade 110. And I want you to see just how amazing the payoff is on the skin.
All the products that I'm using will be linked down below. I do not have any of her brushes, but I do have, this is a Rare Beauty foundation brush, and it looks to be a similar shape to hers. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that this is one of my favorite foundations. I really like the finish that it gives you. It's like a natural finish. It does have a natural glow where your skin looks like skin. All right, let's see what else.
And it just blends in beautifully with that concealer because they have very similar skincare products in them. You see now how we're getting that medium coverage, and this is buildable so you can layer it more and more. I think that looks so pretty. I love it so much. Now, sometimes I use the rest on the brush just to get over my eyes. Okay, so this is where I am so far, but I'm also gonna put some foundation on my body just to even out. Okay, so now I'm gonna add some warmth back in the face and I'm gonna use our Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. This is shade Light Level 4. And I like to start...
Okay, so I didn't have her bronzer. I went to Sephora to pick it up. I love the packaging. It has like a rubberized lid. It's just really neat, different, feels pretty luxe. And I have mine in the same shade as her, which now that I think about it, I probably should have gone with a shade darker. I don't know, let's see.
Actually, by just tapping my brush here, I give it a little blow. And then I start sort of on the outside and work almost in a straight line in, which I know is not how everybody does it, but I like to start my contour sort of towards the nose, and then I bring it down. What's so nice about this powder is it doesn't even go on like a powder. It's extremely smooth and extremely easy to blend. I'm doing this side of my face first. I'm gonna sculpt underneath the chin, the jawline, and a little bit more here, just so you can see the difference.
Can you see
this bronzer is velvety. It is extremely...
Can we see the difference? Yeah, I think so.
Smooth. It's a gel powder and it's beautiful to wear. And then I just go in at the end and I just go ham. I don't have a really elegant way of telling you how I do this part. Just do what you feel. The most important thing when you're doing your makeup is that you feel good about you from the inside out. Sometimes I'll do my makeup and, you know, it's really just for me. So now I'm actually going to go in with some blush, but I'm going to make our blush today.
Ooh, we're gonna make our blush. Let me just finish up the bronzer. I mean, not finish up the bronzer, but finish up applying the bronzer. I didn't see her putting any on her nose, or did she? No, I don't think so. I'm just, yeah, warming up the nose a little. Yeah, the finish that this foundation gives you is very nice. You see how it has some glow to it?
You from the inside out. Sometimes I'll do my makeup and, you know, it's really just for me. So now I'm actually going to go in with some blush, but I'm going to make our blush today using some high power pigment paint. This is shade Blush Matte, and I'm going to do something fun that I love to do, which is I'm going to use our shade 000 Fair Neutral. It's a white foundation, and I'm going to mix just one pump on my hand.
Okay, so I went to Sephora yesterday to pick up some samples of both that Blush Matte high pigment paint and the white foundation, because I don't see myself using this foundation again, this white one, but you never know. Maybe I will after today. Okay, so let's mix. How does she do this?
With this Blush Matte paint.
Okay, so the ratios, she did about a pump of the white and about this much, I think, of the Blush Matte, and we're gonna mix that. To be honest with you, I would not do this on an everyday basis. It's fun, it's cool to do once in a while, but when it comes to practicality and convenience, when I am in a hurry trying to do my makeup, I'm not gonna go through this step. Okay, so let's see.
Before I apply it, I'm gonna take a little bit of the white on my finger by itself. And I'm actually gonna put it on the highest points on my face just to add a glow without using any pearl. So this is a great way to highlight the face.
Okay, hold on, because I grabbed too much. I'm really curious to see how this will look. So, just like that, and she blends it in with her fingers.
Look at that. So now I'm gonna take my finger.
I think I like that. Let's see the other side. White, white, white. Which finger is clean? This one? That works. I like it. Subtle. I'm gonna add more just so that we can really see the effect, especially on camera. Sometimes I have to over apply for the effect to show up. Okay, yeah, I think it's showing up now. Boop, boop. Let me just clean my fingers. My little rag here. So let's see. And now what?
And I'm just gonna make our blush on my hand. This is packed with plant squalane, which is so good for your face. I'm just gonna put it here on the apples of my cheeks, as well as the high point of my cheekbone. Really, you should just put your blush where you like your blush. Everybody likes their blush in different places.
It's pretty.
And you see how now there's sort of a nice blending that's going on with both the bronzer
Yes.
and the blush. Sort
see
of
it.
becomes this ombre effect that's extremely creamy and glowy and good for you. For now, that's
Yeah, I do see that gradient effect from going from the white foundation as highlighter, now the blush, and then the bronzer underneath, but I hope it doesn't look like stripes. I don't think it looks stripy. Let's do the other cheek. I'm gonna bring it a little bit under the eye as well, and a bit up to the temple. Now, I imagine that we're gonna need to set the face really well. Mixing our own blush is fun, not something that I would do on an everyday basis, but it's fun nonetheless.
enough blush for me. I'm going to go in though with our Bio Radiant Gel Highlighter. This is in shade Peach Quartz. So I'm gonna apply the Bio Radiant Gel Highlighter now with my fingers. I'm just gonna go on the cheekbone. You see how beautiful that glow is? Not patchy, not a lot of glitter. You can go down.
I don't have her highlighter, but I do have this one from Rare Beauty. And so she just tapped it on.
On the nose if you want. I have a lot of real estate to put this on my nose.
Me
I like
too.
to put a little in the height of my brow bone. Sort of like an eyeshadow. Little here and a little, of course, on your Cupid's bow.
Cupid's bow.
Now I'm gonna take rose quartz
Ooh,
and use
hold on.
a little bit.
And here on the brow bone. Very nice, very nice. Did I finish with doing the highlighter on this cheek? Let's just tap it on. The white foundation first to highlight without the pearl. Then she goes in with the cream blush. And after that, she goes in with a powder highlighter. Let me just put it down the nose like she did. And now...
A bit like a blush.
Wait,
and
let me rewind.
A little here, and a little, of course, on your Cupid's bow. Now I'm gonna take rose quartz and use it a little bit like a blush. And
okay, I have a blush from Milani. This is Dolce Pink. It's a baked powder blush, and it is quite luminous. So I think that this one is gonna work. It looks quite similar to hers.
just to tie the look together, I'm going to take this beautiful peach quartz and I'm going to put it back on my finger.
Ooh,
and I'm going to apply
sorry,
a
rewind.
little bit, sort of like an eyeshadow. Little here and a little, of course, on your Cupid's bow. Now I'm going to take rose quartz and use it a little bit like a blush. And just to tie the look together, I'm going to take this beautiful peach quartz and I'm going to put it back on my finger and I'm going to apply it to my collarbone. And my
Apply it to the collarbone. Can you see any difference here? Yeah. All right. Nice. I think that my Cupid's bow highlighter is really more like a whole upper lip highlighter, so let me wipe some of it off. And I also want to blend the highlighter in a little bit. I'm using the same sponge that I used for the foundation. Kind of going over everything. All right, what's next?
my neck. And then my favorite. I actually like to do my neck, chest, and arm makeup while I do my regular makeup. So now I'm going to start the eyes. And I'm going to use our amazing high power pigment paint again in beige matte. So I'm going to put some on my hand and take a brush like this and just smooth it over the eyes.
I don't have the same beige pigment paint that she's using, but the color looks very similar to my NARS eyeshadow base. So this is what I'm going to use. And she is applying it with a brush, so that's what I'm gonna do as well.
As a primer. And I like a little bit more grip for the eyeshadow, which this is gonna give me. Now, I'm going to take some of my bronzer with that same brush.
I'm gonna be using a Refer 27 for this next part.
And I'm just gonna carve out my crease. You can do as much or as little of this as you want. I honestly always do my makeup how I feel in the moment. Sometimes when I put pressure on myself to do makeup in a particular way, I can end up not being happy with it when it's done. So I just go with how I feel and I finish when I feel ready. I'm gonna pull that out just a little bit. See, just to create that line right there.
Pull it
and
out.
It just lengthens out the eyes.
Okay.
Okay, now I wanna keep amplifying.
Pulling out the line.
This look a little bit more. So I'm going to be using this pigment paint in Cocoa Matte and also Rose Gold Shimmer. I'm going to start with Cocoa Matte and I'm just going to use a little bit on my hand. This teeny tiniest little bit. I'm going to take the same brush. I'm just going to blend it into my crease. And sometimes, just to give it some really good warmth and playtime, I just use my finger to blend it out quick.
I'm using a Sephora 27 crease brush for this. So she placed it. Let me rewind. I want to see this again.
I'm going to take the same brush. I'm just going to blend it into my crease. And sometimes, just to give it some really good warmth and playtime, I just use my finger to blend it out quickly. And I just start to cut the crease a little bit on the side. And it's okay to mess up.
What I like about these cream shadows, these pigments, is that they give you depth right away, but also they're a little bit more difficult to work with just because they will set eventually, so you don't have a lot of time to blend them out. I'm assuming that's why she used her finger, also because the warmth of your finger is going to give you more playtime, which is I think what she meant. So I'm using my finger, but this is not the easiest formula to apply and get a nice blend. I like to use these pigments as a base because like I said, it does give you depth very fast. But as far as using it up here in the crease where you want a nice blend, I hesitate because it does take a little bit more skill.
You can always fix it. Now I'm going to use another one of our gel powder highlighters in Chocolate Opal, and I'm going to use this fluffy brush and just work it in to that same.
Just finishing up with the eyes here. Oh, you see the cream already dried up, so I'm gonna get some more because she defined that outer V pretty well, meaning she used more product, I think, than I did. So let's try to replicate the effect.
Going to use another one of our gel powder highlighters in Chocolate Opal, and I'm going to use this fluffy brush and just work it in to that same sort of creased area.
I don't have a highlighter that color, but maybe this powder from Scott Barnes will work. It's the Body Bling Pavé powder. It's not as chocolatey as hers. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to use the bronzer from the Hourglass Snake palette. I need more shimmer than what this bronzer has, so I'm gonna use this one first, and then I'm gonna go in with this shimmery powder. Yep, I think that this is gonna give us a similar effect. So she went over the V, right? Let me rewind.
Another one of our gel powder highlighters in Chocolate Opal, and I'm going to use this fluffy brush and just work it in to that same sort of creased area, just to give it some extra shine. And you'll see how I'm gonna pump up the volume next. I'm now gonna take our rose shimmer.
Oh, and to make things easier for myself, actually, I think I know. Instead of using the Scott Barnes powder, I'm gonna use the highlighter here from the Snake palette. Let me just finish putting on the bronzer. I'm also bringing it under the brow here because it looks like she does have something going on here. So, and now with the highlighter, yeah, I think this is gonna work very nicely. Yes, some shimmery goodness. This is very interesting because normally the highlight, I use it here on the brow bone or just here in the inner part of the lid, but I don't normally place it on top of the deeper shadow area here along the crease, but she seems to have gone over pretty much everything with the highlighter, and I am liking the effect. What do you think? Let me zoom you in a little bit. Okay, I zoomed you in. I think that's better. So you can see the effect so far, and I know that this needs help. I'm gonna fix it in a minute somehow, but let's continue. What's the next step?
Or just put a little bit on the hand, put some on your finger, and pop it in the center of the lid. Love it.
Yeah, I don't have that shimmery cream that she has, so I'm gonna use the Victoria Beckham Luster Shadow in the shade Honey. Yeah, I think that's gonna be plenty of shimmer.
I love makeup. All right, I'm going to take our concealer again to do
hold
something
on.
else.
Let me finish up the eyes. All right, I'm loving the effect so far on the lids. They're nice and shimmery, just like hers.
That our concealer does, which is clean up. So I'm going to drag it just under the eye in the shape that I want the shadow to be. And that's super easy to do. Okay, I'm gonna have some of my tea because I have to stay hydrated during this marathon. Okay, now I'm going to sharpen up the eye using our Optic Intense.
1 second. And I'm using a Refer 32 for this. I like it because it's slanted, so that shape is gonna make it easy to drag out the concealer on a straightish way. Now, before we move on to the next step, let me tap my sponge on that line just to blend things out a little bit.
Intensity Eco Liner in Deep Cocoa Matte, and I'm going to apply it to my lash line. I'm going to extend it along the line that I just cleaned up.
All right, so I picked this up yesterday, the eyeliner. I did test it. How do you sharpen this? I gotta tell you, it's not bad, but it is not nearly as creamy as my Victoria Beckham or Lisa Eldridge eyeliners. But it's not bad. It's probably more similar to the Natasha Denona eyeliner, which I wasn't super thrilled with. Okay, so she takes it and just, oh man, it seemed so easy when she did it. Okay, I need to pull my skin a little bit here, sort of.
Flip it over where there's a brush and just blend away. The eyeliner, I'm not gonna blend too much. It's very creamy, so
we're blending the eyeliner. And it looks like she actually brought it in all the way. They probably edited out that part by mistake of her actually running the pencil all the way across, because it looks like she definitely has the liner all the way, starting from the inner corner and coming out. Yeah, this liner is not very pigmented. I feel like I have to press hard. I need to go over the line several times to get it to show up. Now I'm gonna blend. I'm tugging on my eye way too much with the Haus Labs liner, so I grabbed my Lisa Eldridge. Oh, wow. Okay, it's night and day. Look at the pigment. That's incredible. Let's see this side. Look at that. Super easy. I will use the Haus Labs brush here just to blend. This liner is also very, very blendable. It gives you a little bit of a playtime to smudge it out. Wow. This Lisa Eldridge eyeliner is a different thing. However, I would not use the Lisa Eldridge one to draw this line out here because it's a bit too dark for that. So, and I did deposit some of that darker pigment in it by mistake. Okay, no, I thought it does work. Okay, cool. All right, what's next?
I don't really need to. And also I want it to have a strong line. Blend, blend, blend. Clean up your mess. And then I'm gonna go inside the eye in the waterline. And I always make a funny face when I do this. Then I'm gonna create a little bit of a point, like a little teardrop.
Okay, waterline. Yeah, you see? I'm hardly getting any pigment. Look at that. No, 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 no. Lisa Eldridge. Clean brush to try to clean this up. I went way too low with the liner. So I'm taking some eye makeup remover and taking some of that on the brush.
Up in the center of where my eye shape meets here. Blend it out carefully so that you can still keep the sharpness of the shape.
Okay. So I'm going to do like a little, she said like a little teardrop here. So I'm bringing it in. This eyeliner definitely does have its purpose. If you tried doing this with the Lisa Eldridge one, it would just be really hard to control. Whereas since this one doesn't give you that opacity, that pigmentation right away, it makes it easier to do things like this inner wingy thing that I know that I'm not gonna get right on the first pass. That is not looking too great. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the brush from the Haus Labs eyeliner and get some of the Lisa Eldridge eyeliner and then draw that shape. That should work better. I might return this eyeliner to tell you the truth. Okay.
So I just put on some mascara off camera to see where my look is, and I think I just love it this way. I think it's beautiful.
I'm gonna put mascara off camera too. Actually, I decided to do my lashes on camera. I think that I really need to chunkify them. I need a strong, bold lash. So I'm going in first with my Dior lash primer just to get as much volume as possible. And now I'm gonna use the Give Can't Stop Staring mascara. This ball tip is genius. Let me show it to you. I know that I've shown it before, but you gotta see it again. It's so good. That ball, it is so helpful to get the mascara on all the lashes. All right, mascara is on. What's next?
Beautiful.
Ooh.
Before I
Wait, when did she do? Oh yeah, she did the lower lash eyeliner already. Mine doesn't look nearly as dark.
put on my lipstick though, I'm going to use our setting powder, and this powder is amazing. Don't sleep on her. This is such a nice finish to any look. Now to finish off my look,
I do like the Haus Labs powder. It's not a memorable powder. I don't think it's not one of my favorites, but I do use it a lot. It's not gonna give you the level of blur that the Givenchy powder gives you, or even the Huda powder, but it's still a good powder. Okay, next are the lips. So I'm going to remove that little bit of lip balm that I have on. And she's using that same eyeliner, the brown one, as a lip liner. Interesting.
going to start by using our eyeliner as a lip liner in shade Deep Cocoa Matte. I like to use this as a lip liner because it's so creamy. And it comes with a little brush on the other side. It's also long wear, so no, it's definitely not moving. It's just like great for your purse, you know what I mean? Okay, I could leave it like that, but I'm not. Instead, we're gonna use our Atomic Shake Lip Lacquer in Sepia. I love this color so much. It's perfect for fall.
Oh, okay. And I do have that sepia shade. I don't know if I'm loving... Does it sort of look purple to you? The brown eyeliner, why is it looking purple here? Okay, so we have Atomic Shake. Let's watch her apply it.
And I'm just gonna apply it to the lip in an even coat.
And she lets it dry. I got this color this Atomic Shake lip product months and months ago. I think I just used it once or twice because I did not like it. So let's give it another shot. I didn't like it because it's not very comfortable. It is a pretty cool formula though, because it's very long lasting while staying shiny. So it's almost like you're lacquering your lips. There's a strange scent to it. And you see how the applicator is purple? I don't know, it seems like this is just a heavy duty formula to stay on and stay shiny. There's a chemical scent to it. Now we're gonna let it dry. If you're enjoying this video so far, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
It's the Atomic Shake dance. Okay, and we're in zero transfer now. So, all done. Let me show you my final look.
Oh, hold on. Okay, so I had some transfer. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. It seemed like she waited for a while. Okay, transfer test again. Ooh, there's nothing there, and my lips are still super shiny. Yep, nice. Now this formula definitely has its place. I do see it being very useful for when you're at like a holiday party or just any sort of event, especially when you're sipping from a clear glass and you don't want to leave the lipstick traces behind. This is a really good formula to wear in those occasions. All right, what's next? Very pretty, very pretty.
And
That's
now
very
for
nice.
the ultimate test of when you are wearing our Atomic Shake lip lacquer for a night out on the town this fall or winter. Won't even.
Ooh, nothing on the glass. Let me do it again. Nothing. Wow. Yeah, that's really cool. And my lips are still shiny. Let me tell you which of the products from Haus Labs that I used today are my favorites. Definitely the foundation, for sure. The concealer, the first time that I tried it, I hated it. It's actually not that bad. I'm gonna keep testing it, but I'm liking it. The loose powder, it's all right. There's nothing bad to say about it, but it's not my favorite. I do like her pigments, her eye pigments. You know that I was not a fan of the eyeliner. This one is going back to Sephora actually. The bronzer, I really like the packaging. I did like the shade. I think it applies really nicely. It looks good, just a solid bronzer. And that's it, you guys. What do you think of this look? Let me know in the comments if you like it. Let's do the transfer test again. Wow, that's amazing. And look at my lips. They're still shiny. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.